So for today's video, we thought it would be a fun idea to talk about some of our most memorable and some of our worst Disney character experiences at Disney World. My favorite character experience was meeting Aladdin by himself, and I met him in Magic Kingdom, and it's by his magic carpet ride. So like normally it's him and the genie, but when we were waiting online, they're like, oh, the genie is like taking a bathroom break or something. I don't know what it was. And of course it was August, so I was like dripping in like every conceivable sweat. Oh my god, it was just disgusting. So I went up there and he was just like, hi, like how are you? And I'm just like, good. And I was like, where's like Jasmine? And I don't remember what he said, but he's basically like, what's your name? And I told this already, but I don't care.
It's okay.
I was like, my name's Yasmin. That's how you pronounce my name in English. And he was like, oh, well, isn't it convenient that Princess Jasmine's not here, but Princess Yasmin is? And I was just like, I love you. It was just a great experience. I mean, he was really like attractive.
One of my favorite character experiences was meeting Belle at the France Pavilion in Epcot. It was actually going to be Belle and Beast together, and I had never met Beast at that point, so I was like really excited. So Belle comes out by herself. So she comes up to me, and I'm wearing a lanyard, and I have like Disney pins all over, and I happen to have Beast on there. And she's like, oh my gosh, Beast is gonna love seeing himself on your lanyard. You should definitely show it to him when he comes out. And she was just so sweet. She was like the sweetest. So then Beast eventually comes out and I show him my lanyard and he gets like super happy. It was just a very great experience because I had never met Beast.
I'm gonna build off of that. I also met Belle in the France Pavilion. So she stands like right next to like the water. I remember her saying like, oh, are you looking for your Prince Charming today? And I was like, yes. And she's like, okay, good, because me and Cinderella are always looking out for our friends. I'll keep an eye out for you. And I was like, okay. And then we did like whatever, like a pose, and I don't know, she was just really sweet. I feel like meeting Belle by herself is a good experience. I would definitely recommend that.
Another character experience that I really liked was meeting Aladdin and Jasmine together. I met them at the Morocco Pavilion. They were inside and it was really cute because it was a very nice like Agrabah backdrop. It was during my 4-year anniversary that I went to Disney when I met them, so I was wearing my 4-year anniversary pin, and then Aladdin asked to see my ring, and like in the picture like he's like, whoa, that's a big diamond in the rough, and I'm just like, are you serious right now? Like, what are you saying? It was a very good photo.
So I met Gaston, and his line is always super long. He's right outside Gaston's Tavern in Fantasyland and Magic Kingdom, and of course, like the people in front of us, they were like these two girls, and they were really like demanding. So when they went up to meet him, the girl was like, get down on your knees and propose to me right now. And he was like, no. He's like, I'm not gonna do that. And they were like butting heads or whatever, and like I guess because of that, I felt like it sort of seeped into my own character experience. Like he was kind of like annoyed by her, that like when he met me he was kind of like standoffish, but then again that's the character, so like I don't really know. But either way, I met him and I was like, can I feel your muscles? And he's like, of course. And he like held out his arm and I was like holding on to it in the picture. But he's really funny.
I met Pooh and friends at Crystal Palace, and that's where they can come to you to the table. So I love Crystal Palace because of the character experiences that I've had there. That's why I always go, and I always recommend this restaurant to everybody because the characters are amazing. I just wanted to mention a couple in that restaurant. So the first one is Eeyore. When I went during my honeymoon. Again, I'm wearing my Just Married pin. I really recommend you guys going on your honeymoon.
You're marrying your Just Married pin? You said I'm marrying my Just Married pin.
Did I really say that?
Yeah.
Oh my god, okay. I was married. Oh my god, you're right, I did say that. What the heck is wrong with me? So I was wearing my Just Married pin, and I really recommend you guys going on your honeymoon to Disney because you get so much special treatment because of that pin. I don't know, it's just amazing. Eeyore happened to see that, and he kind of like kidnapped me, like to get me away from my husband. That is cute! Like he wanted me and he didn't want me to be with my husband. That's adorable. There was also an experience with Tigger. I was wearing a Tigger watch and I was like, Tigger, Tigger, you're like my favorite character from Winnie the Pooh and I have you like on my watch, and he got so happy and like he hugged me really tight and he was just so adorable. Piglet proposed to me. He got down on one knee and he took my hand and he was like reenacting me and my husband's proposal. Again, it makes for like really nice pictures when they interact with you like that. So I definitely recommend Crystal Palace.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the next character experience that I find really memorable is Kylo Ren. I talk about this like so many times.
I can't wait to meet him.
I can't even tell you guys how many times I've just discussed this already. You can meet him in Hollywood studios in the Star Wars launch bay. He's like super scary, like really intimidating, because obviously it's Kylo Ren, he's like evil. People who work with him are sort of like also in character, so they're kind of like mean in a way, but they're not like mean. So whatever, I go and it's like me and my sister. I want a separate picture with him, so I sort of like inch up and I'm kind of just like cowering in fear, and he's just like, I don't know, he's like asking me questions, and then I'm like, I was like, can I call you Ben? And he's like, absolutely not. And he like freaked out. And I was like, okay. And then I was like, all right, let's just take the photo. And you can tell he's like pose like this or whatever. Like,
he told you to pose?
No, he didn't say pose like that. So he's just like,
oh, so
I think it was, you know what it was? It was the cast members that were like, you know, do that with him. And I was like, okay, but you could literally see like the space between me and him because of how like afraid I am. Because he's like freaking tall and like, he's like dressed in all black, and he's like, absolutely not. And I'm like, okay.
So the next character experience that I want to talk about are Woody and Buzz. You can find them in Pixar Place, and they have their own little area inside, and it's really nice because the queue, you can actually take pictures at different spots in the queue, so like you're not bored while you're waiting for them, because they are a pretty long line. It can be from like 45 minutes to an hour and a half, depending on what time you're going. So Woody and Buzz are one of my favorites to me because they always make me feel super special and just, I don't know, like a princess. Met them and I was wearing a lanyard, and I happened to have the 3 little P's on there. I had bought Woody and Buzz, but they were on another lanyard because I had bought like a lot of pins that time, so I was wearing a different one. The cast member was like pointed out the pin of the peas, like to Buzz and Woody. She's like, oh look, she has the 3 little peas. And then like the cast member was like, oh, why don't you have Buzz? They're wondering why you don't have them on your lanyard. And I was like, oh no, I do have them on my lanyard, but it's in another one. And they didn't believe me. They were like shaking their head, and I'm just like, what? But they were so cute about it though. Like, Buzz danced with me. Woody gave me a really big hug. Again, I'm like always wearing a pin, either like just married, 4-year anniversary.
Buzz gives kisses.
Oh yeah, he
like,
does.
Like he'll hug you and be like, you can like hear it, and I'm like, oh. So another character experience that I want to mention is meeting Tarzan.
Oh yeah!
I almost forgot. I was like, who else did I meet? Yeah, Tarzan's a really memorable experience. I would
definitely recommend
I'd
that.
recommend that, yeah, if you're single.
Even if you're married,
I'm kidding. Yeah, for one side, please.
Why not?
He's in Animal Kingdom. I think it's like between Asia and Africa. It's like by like Discovery Island. We were just walking around and we saw him there, and there was like a really short line. Like nobody even knew it was a character meet and greet. So like if you have the chance, I would suggest it. And like I was so freaking shocked that he actually spoke. Because I was like caught off guard. I was like, alright, he's not gonna talk, so it won't be like I have to really communicate. It'll just be like, hey, and then we can take pictures, whatever. And then he was just like, hi. And I was like, what? I was like, Tarzan. I thought like he speaks monkey. My plan originally was to go in and do the hand thing, but I was so like caught off guard. Yeah, I was so caught off guard that he could actually speak that it didn't work out. But he was literally like, he does this for everybody, but he picks like bugs. Not that I have bugs in my hair, but he like looks for bugs in people's hair. And he's like, I like your Explorer backpack. And I was like, thanks. And he's like, Jane has one just like it.
What is this nonsense?
He's like, she keeps a little notebook and a book in there. And I was like,
I'm sorry, but when I met him, maybe they changed the protocol.
Maybe it was too awkward because he was silent and basically naked.
Yeah, he didn't speak to me at all. Like I was laughing the entire time, by the way. Like I couldn't take him seriously because really, he's only in a loincloth.
No, but they changed it. Like,
oh, they did?
I mean, maybe he was.
No, he has like a vine going through here.
No, it's like a loincloth, but there's shorts underneath there.
Okay, I didn't look underneath.
I didn't look under his loincloth either, but you can tell in my photo that he's wearing like black shorts under there. Like I wasn't like.
I was very like giggly when I was meeting him because I've always wanted to meet Tarzan and I just didn't know how to speak to him. And he just said like one-word answers. That's why I'm so confused. Like I hope the one I meet in August talks, because I would love to have a conversation.
You want to have a conversation with him?
I do, yeah.
I would have, if I was prepared, I would have been okay.
So another character experience that I want to talk about, it's actually two characters I want to mention. It's in 1900 Park Fair, and over there you can meet Mad Hatter, Pooh, Tigger, Alice, and Mary Poppins. So I want to talk about the Mad Hatter because the Mad Hatter is hilarious. Like, he's so
It's always
loud.
the same guy.
It is!
It's always, he's like the best Mad Hatter.
He's so loud, very obnoxious, doesn't care. Like, he'll yell, like, really loud so that everyone can hear him.
It's your birthday! Like, literally, like, that's how he talks.
He literally sat down with us. I don't remember exactly what conversation I had with him, but it did include my husband, and he was like, I think we were talking about, like, would you marry for love or for money?
Okay, and you got that deep with the Mad Hatter.
He was like, he literally made himself comfortable. Also, another character experience I want to talk about, also 1900 Park Fair. In 1900 Park Fair. Oh my god, Pooh, I don't know what was going on that day, but he was so affectionate. Like, he like coddled me, and I was just like, oh my god, you're so adorable.
I met the Jawas when I was in Star Wars Launch Bay. And like, this isn't like an official character meeting. I don't know if it is, because they don't really have like a line. They're kind of just walking around the launch bay, and like if you want to take a picture with them, you can. They're so cute. There's like 2 of them, and then sometimes they'll trade things with you. So like, I see them with the kids, like either trading pins or like they'll just take things from you and like run away. I was holding something and one of them literally took it and like ran away with it. And I was like, where are you going? And then they came back, and then I showed them that I was wearing a Jawa shirt, and they were like, oh my god, and they like pointed to it. They give the best hugs. Like, they're so cuddly and they're so funny and they're so cute, so I would recommend that if you're a Star Wars fan.
So now that we've talked about some of our favorite memorable character experiences, we just want to talk about one, well, like each of us, one awkward experience that we've had. So I want to talk about meeting Ariel and Eric. Now let me just tell you guys, I've never met Eric in my life at that trip. Like, I have never seen him anywhere, and then I happened to hear that they were going to be in Adventureland together and that you can meet them. And I literally stood in line, I'm not even kidding you, for an hour and a half to meet them.
That's
yeah, because I've never met Eric before. I mean, I've met Ariel, but I've never met Eric. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna meet them, and it's gonna be awesome. What happens? I get there, and it was the most awkward thing ever. First of all, they were together, so they were talking about like back and forth to each other.
Between themselves.
They completely disregarded my presence, which is very sad because I literally waited an hour and a half in line for you guys, and you guys are just talking to each other. Like, that's not what I waited in line for. I guess like Eric can see like how uncomfortable I am because I'm just like standing there. He was like, would you like to take a picture? And I'm just like, yeah, whatever, let's get this over with. And I took the picture and I left. It was the most awkward experience ever. I do not recommend meeting Ariel and Eric.
Yeah, I actually had a similar experience with a couple. It was actually Aladdin and Jasmine in the same spot that she met them, in the Morocco Pavilion. It's indoors. I don't really remember like the circumstances of the conversation because it wasn't a great experience, but I do remember them talking amongst themselves and not really like asking me any questions or like getting me involved in the conversation. And I don't know, I don't like when they do that, obviously, because like you go to meet them so that you can speak with them and have a conversation and take a picture, and like when they just don't include you in the conversation, you kind of just feel left out and you're just like,
it's really sad, yeah, because like you waited all that time and like it wasn't a good experience. Before ending this video, we just wanted to give you guys some pointers when you meet characters so that it is a memorable experience and it's not as awkward as the experience, the 2 experiences that we had. So the first thing is, have something in mind to ask them. So like, obviously if they're from Beauty and the Beast, maybe mention something about Beauty and the Beast. The second thing is, I mean, you don't have to do this, but I really recommend like at least like wearing something that like will spark a conversation. So either a shirt or like a bracelet or even ears like that has to do with their movie. They like pick up on random things, like even if it's not related to their film, they'll just be like, I love your whatever, like your dress. It was either like Ariel or Jasmine in Cinderella's castle that like complimented my dress, and it had nothing to do with like her movie or anything, and she just complimented it. So they'll say things even if it's not like related to their movie. But you can do that, like that'll be like if you're shy and you don't know what to say, that's a good conversation starter. So the third and last thing is that be really happy to see them. Like, give them really big hugs. I don't know, be very enthusiastic. They love that. If you get like overwhelmed because like they're right in front of you and like you don't know exactly what to say, just give them a hug. Honestly, just go in for that hug. tell them like you love them. And
yeah, that's what I did for Beast. I was like, oh my god, Beast, like I'm so happy to see you. I love your haircut. Like I literally just went in and he was like,
yeah, so definitely show that enthusiasm.
I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please tell us some of your most memorable or some of your worst character experiences so we can discuss it. And if you guys have any tips on like meeting characters.
Thanks so much for watching.
And as always, have a magical day.